Oh shit, I just hit record. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the State of the League podcast, the only podcast that is actually a miracle elixir for all your woes and ailments. With me, as always, is my wonderful co host, the world famous Pablo Escobar. I am Jack, aka Jokic Joestar, and this miracle elixir, we're going to be fixing the sadness that has permeated the Sacramento Kings fan base in this episode. We have Jack Dan, aka JackTheKingsFan, and Aaron Schroeder, aka PossibleChairs, joining us today. Two big Sacramento fans talking about the way that they have played basketball recently, which if you're not tapped in, it's not great. Let's start. I'll throw it to Aaron. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing fantastic. I had to mention in one of Pablo's videos, someone asked him, could you recommend other basketball TikTokers other than Pablo and myself? And Pablo said, I do not respect Aaron Schroeder. So me and Pablo are actually beefing right now. I'm in my Cat Williams arc. I'm here to air this bitch out. I'm gonna go 2 hours unfiltered on every NBA TikToker.
Sweet. I'll be your Shannon Sharp to that. No
Thank
problem. You can just fucking spitball at me. Pablo, how you doing?
I'm good. Listen, the guy asked. He said I need a list of NBA TikTokers I respect, like Aaron Schroeder, and so I had to clear the air. I said I do not respect Aaron Schroeder, and because what if people get the wrong idea? What if people go out there telling people, oh, Pablo Escobar and Aaron Schroeder, they're best friends. They go around respecting each other. I don't know. No, this is like a Groudon Kyogre type dynamic. That's how this works, of course.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Damn. Right on. Yeah. And people ask me who I respect. I don't respect anyone. All of these people, anyone who makes content, you're all fucking morons, myself included.
Not
except for Jack
Addison
Dan.
Rae. Addison Rae is
No.
very nice. Everyone says Addison Rae is the nicest celebrity in the world. So shout out Addison Rae.
Shout out to Addison Rae. And she knows ball, I would wager. Jack the Kings fan. How you doing, pal?
I'm good. I don't have any active TikTok beefs. Well, maybe I do, but I don't have any active TikTok beefs I'd like to bring up.
Yeah, you do, Jack. Yeah, you do.
I might.
Oh, man. I love that.
But other than that, I'm doing good.
Yeah? I mean, you guys seem surprisingly chipper for the Pacers game and everything, which we can dive right into that. Let's talk about the Sacramento Kings, what I have written down here. 0-4 in their last 4 games. Haven't beaten a team that's above 500 since January 3rd. That was the Magic. The record lately doesn't really even capture the crushing despair that accompanied some of these losses, it seems like. You had 37 points from Tobias Harris to lose to the Sixers without Embiid. You blew a 12-point lead in the fourth to Milwaukee. Damian Lillard, 30-foot game winner in overtime. Blew a 22-point lead in the fourth quarter to Suns. That didn't even go to overtime. And Booker and Beal were pretty pedestrian in that game. It was mostly just a Grayson Allen masterclass. And then this culminates in the power of friendship win, as I've been calling it lately. No Halliburton, no Bruce Brown, no Siakam for the Pacers last night, but TJ McConnell prevails. And it ends up being it was like a 5-point win for Indiana, but a loss there is crushing. Jack, what are your thoughts on Sacramento basketball at this point?
It's as if we decide to let the world's least intimidating player on the other team dominate us every time. TJ McConnell, we could not stay in front of TJ.
Hey, nobody can. NBA leader in drives. So don't feel too bad.
He's so true. Shifty. He used the power of grit, sneaky athleticism, and dateability to score 20 and 10 on us.
Yeah, he was pretty gnarly. And I don't know, he's one of those guys where he hops off the bench for Indiana and you're like, "Oh fuck, this is a real guy, he could be on a couple different teams." But yeah, getting 20 and 10 on really 9 of 14 from the field, and 3 free throws, which feels 14 for him. He doesn't go to the line at all. That's just hard. That's a tough loss. Aaron, how you feeling?
We can't guard anybody. Anyone at all. and it's so strange because our defense is better than it was last season by important metrics like defensive rating, but it's so strange because we have the same record through this point of the season as we did last year. And last year was like the greatest vibes ever. This year is like getting my balls crushed in a hydraulic press every morning. I can't take it anymore.
No.
The record isn't horrendous, but the way that we're losing these games tells me there's these massive issues going on. I narrowed it down to 3 things, which was free throw shooting, clutch moments, and Harrison Barnes. If he can fix at least 2 of those, we'd be fine. Because let's say we don't blow the Milwaukee game or the Suns game in like historic, unbelievable, never seen before on television fashion. We're not even having this podcast. Like, it's not even that big of a deal. The record's probably fine for the 5 seed.
Yeah, I mean, you guys don't do that. I'd be having Kofi on because the Pistons won a game. I mean, we could.
Oh,
There's a lot to
shit.
talk about here, but I mean, Sacramento are just such a car crash of a basketball team lately that it can't be ignored. Pablo, what are your thoughts, man?
I don't know. Listen, the long-term aspirations of this roster, as we've said many times, I feel like are capped. And I just don't think I think they're still probably as good of a team as last year, if not better. Just based off the talent on the roster, if everyone's playing up to their full capability and everything. But until there's some kind of shakeup, I don't really feel that this team can go toe to toe in the playoffs with like the Clippers or with the Nuggets or anyone at the top of the West.
We have the worst
Yeah.
wings in the league.
It's awful.
do.
It's.
In the-
I mean,
Have you guys ever
that's
had
like
to watch Harrison Barnes play basketball? It's horrible. I sat there and live streamed and I pointed at him the entire game. He didn't move. It was the easiest stream of my life. I was just like, no, he's not going to move. He's not going to do it. Never does. He's got the basketball ability of Michelangelo's David sometimes. He just sits there and does nothing. Maybe David's statue would be better on defense.
That's a
It's a
good
beautiful
screener,
statue.
the David
One of the
statue.
best
I mean,
statues.
you get him
Yeah.
in the right spots, you could run your guards off him, and I mean, he's laying some
Totally.
people out, a la like fucking prime Steven Adams.
And you
Aaron,
don't
what
have
were
to
you
pay
gonna
him
say?
$18 million a year.
I'm looking up how big the David statue is. 17 feet tall. That'd be a great,
Oh.
great basketball player.
Shit.
7. That's a very tall statue. But with
Yeah.
Barnes, it's so depressing, especially when we lose to the Pelicans by like 45. Like in a world of Trey Murphy and Herb Jones, like these awesome dynamic young wings that you can just find every year in the draft. Apparently, Barnes is so depressing. Here are my Barnes numbers. So there have been 91 players this season to play 29 or more minutes a game. Of those players, in terms of per game stats, of those 91 players, he is the 9th least rebounds, the 3rd least assists, the 5th least points, the 15th least steals, and he is a 9-way tie for the 2nd least blocks. He has blocked 6 shots. That's 0.1. What is he doing out there? He has no statistical
No.
impact.
Is he shooting well from 3 still? Is he shooting
Who
like
gives a shit? He's
a
not fucking
40%?
taking him. He's not taking him. I think he's
No.
closer to 35.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's pretty average on that front. Sasha or Trey Lyles, either the 2 power forwards we have directly behind him, Sasha is averaging the exact same amount of rebounds in like half the minutes.
12 minutes.
It's
And
ridiculous.
12 minutes a game.
12 minutes a game.
I'm positive that Trey Lyles is better. I'm positive that Vezenkov is better. Every on-off number known to man tells me that we have better wings on this roster. Yet Harrison Barnes plays every game like fucking clockwork. He's like Mike Brown and him make love after every game about how I'll never take
Whoa.
your minutes away, baby. I wouldn't do that to you. I would as they fondle
Holy
each other
shit.
softly. I can't fucking do this anymore. He plays every game.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's from an outside perspective. Who also like I haven't tuned in. I've tuned in since they turned bad. But like I haven't watched all the Kings games this year. It's jarring to see him be in like a prominent role. 7 points, 2 rebounds, 53% true shooting over these last 4 games, and just generally one of the worst basketball players I've seen lately. Like I don't. yeah, it feels really inexcusable. I get that he's a great locker room guy. So is DeAndre Jordan. He's not like starting for the Nuggets. You don't need to give somebody with great vibes a prominent role just because they're like really showing the young guys what structure looks like in the locker room. Yeah. We're gonna get to it later because we got a lot of trade shit coming up. Like if the shakeup that Pablo talked about, that is the shakeup that needs to be shooken, in my opinion. It doesn't really like that's the glaring issue with this roster as far as like guys you can reasonably move off of. There's obviously other flaws, but yeah, Harrison Barnes sucks. Sorry, you guys have to watch him.
With Barnes, he was 15 points a game last season, and that really helped us close games because he was kind of this like tertiary scorer in moments.
NBA champion Harrison Barnes.
NBA champion Harrison
top
Barnes.
High school recruit Harrison Barnes. Friends with Doug McDermott in Iowa. Harrison Barnes
in Iowa.
Oh.
Wow.
He actually is really good at like drawing fouls last year, but now he doesn't shoot the ball at all. And when our second star Sabonis like isn't getting his own bucket in crunch time in the slightest, not even looking at the basket, it limits our clutch offense, and that's what you've seen this season.
That was the thing that really jumped out to me in the Suns game. Was just like rolling out KD at center, this like funky small ball lineup that the Suns did, which to be honest, it felt like their best defensive rotation in terms of like just guys across the board that you look at and you're like, oh, that's a pretty good defender, you know? But like it's also a matchup that pretty much every center that has a lot of mass, the way that Sabonis does, should be able to punish with that Kevin Durant guard. And he just, he would not look at the basket at all. And it really fucked with their offense. It was a big reason why like shit just got very stagnant down the stretch. I saw in that Suns game, they had 15 assists in the first quarter, and then they ended up with like 3 in the entirety of the fourth quarter just because it devolved into like a lot of like long standing, it just not Kings basketball. It was really jarring to watch. The ball movement was very poor, a lot of dribbling without a lot of separation or movement or off ball movement or cutting, just everything that you kind of come to expect from the vibes-based Kings of last year. And yeah, it just feels this season like a lot of those 50-50 clutch games that were so gritty, like the fucking beam last year, they're kind of swinging the opposite direction a little ways. Jack, how do you feel about that?
It's the Mike Brown coaching experience is so strange because when there is no stakes and the team is in a comfortable position, whether the game has just begun or we're up by 10 or we're playing the Pistons or something, the offense is just gorgeous to watch. There's so much movement. There's so many screens, so much passing. It's like Lee Ellis, if you remember the Starters podcast when they did their very solid plays. It's like one of those every single time. But the second there's any pressure on this team, it turns into like this dark, evil version of Joe Mazzulla, Steve Kerr ball, where it's like, hey, Eric Gordon is guarding Domantas Sabonis in the paint. You know what it means? Time for a step back contested 3, baby. And it's like, you've got Eric Gordon in the paint against Sabonis. It's one of the strongest guys in the league. What are we doing? Take the layup, please. I don't get it. It's so strange. He's a great coach. He's got his awesome moments, but man, he is weird when it gets in the stretch sometimes.
Brown will wipe his fucking ass with a challenge too at some point. He'll take that coach's challenge and throw it away in the second quarter every time. Just throwing that out there.
True. His coach, there is some, I don't know what, like, I wish they kept stats for this, but he has got to be the worst challenger in NBA history. He never wins them. Every game, he just blows it. It's the not even like you can tell in live time. Oh yeah, you fucking blew it.
Well, the one that jumped out to me, it was the reverse of blowing it in the second quarter. It was like just fucking white knuckling your coach's challenge through like 3 or 4 really close calls during like a game that's, you know, these are swinging momentum, you know, this is hard. And then like it's to the point where it's like, oh shit, 20 seconds left. Can't take my coach challenge home with me. Let me just throw it out there on like this obvious out of bounds play. Like it bounced off Malik Monk's fucking head or something. Let's light the green light and just see what we can get. Yeah, it didn't feel really I don't know, veteran move. Didn't feel very savvy. He doesn't feel like yeah, he's smart, X's and O's, but maybe a little bit more experience would be nice.
Could the difference be last year we were all freaking out about De'Aaron Fox's clutch time stats and things like that. Like every single game he was hitting a big time mid-range pull-up clutch jumper. Could the difference just be he's not doing that as much this year in these clutch games, or no?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Last season, there's this website called Unpredictable that has like the Jerry West Clutch Player of the Year tracker. And last year, Fox won it, and he won it by a landslide. In fact, since 1997, they started keeping track of these stats. It was the third best clutch season of all time, behind just 2015 Anthony Davis and 2010 LeBron. He was like clutch Jesus. And this year, he's not even on their top 50 ranking. He has been completely absent in the clutch, and that's kind of been leading to like Malik Monk being our closer, which is fun at times. Like he had some nice moments, but Fox being like the best clutch player in the league just hasn't repeated.
The other half of it is we're just not in late close games that much anymore. Either we blow out teams or we get torched to a level that is surely a war crime. Any game against the Pelicans, we lose by 40. There's so many blowouts that maybe the clutch stats aren't there just because he's just not getting the shots. I don't know if there's a tracker for how many like clutch shots he's taking, but it's got to be slashed in half.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there is, but we don't watch the sport through a calculator around these parts. You know, we strictly do the eye test, and the eye test this season, Malik Monk in the clutch is fun. That's like a really good way to describe it, because whoa, holy shit, like this guy's the most athletic guy on the floor, and he's a tough shot maker, and he's not like the worst offensive initiator in the world. But when you like look over there and you're like, oh shit, that's De'Aaron Fox. That's like theoretically one of the 7 best point guards on the planet right now. And it's just like, we're not like, he should be grabbing this game and taking over, and it hasn't manifested itself that way this season. That is really going to swing a lot of those close games, because yeah, last year he was unbelievable in those moments, and for him to not be as present this year, that's a big hit. Because yeah, it also felt like Sacramento's clutch time offense completely revolved around that. Like if he wasn't the guy making the tough shot, by like a quarter through the season, with how defenses were reacting to him in clutch time, it was like he had some of the highest scoring gravity in the league in those moments. People were like, if we don't get it out of his hands, he's going to hit this shot. And so then that opens up like a whole other world of offensive opportunities for everybody else. And yeah, with him just being okay now, it's not the same. So yeah, sorry Sacramento, this sucks. You get the one vibe season, I've always said it, and then people start looking at you as to whether or not you can really win the championship. And if they had been switched, people would be like a little bit more respectful about championship aspirations if you were as good as you were last season. But you're not, and so I don't know. I'm not gonna shit all over you, but it's not exactly where you want to be.
Which is more painful? Is it this, or is it like hoping, man, if Thomas Robinson just takes a leap, he can get us to 30 wins next year?
Harrison Barnes did to me in one day what 15 years or 17 years of missing the playoffs could not do. I've been broken and snapped in half. I did find those the clutch numbers. Last season, Fox took 200, which is by far the most in the league, 200 clutch shots. DeMar DeRozan was second with 164. This year he's taken 56, which is good for 20th. So he's just not. Fox was hitting half-court game winners against the Magic last season. It felt like he had magic coming out of his hands whenever the clock would blow 2 minutes or something, but just not this season.
Yeah. I don't know. Beyond that, that's really all my thoughts, is that it's just it's been hard recently. I think we are tuning in at a time that is maybe a little bit low on the stock in Sacramento.
Dry January.
Yeah,
I have more thoughts.
January.
I could go for 10 fucking minutes.
Yeah, don't give us a chance.
Yeah. We're the worst free throw shooting team in the league. We're shooting 72%. That's a league worst. That's the
Oh.
4th worst mark by a team since 2020.
Wait, why
Um,
is that? Who's
Everyone.
underperforming?
No one can
Everyone.
shoot. Malik Monk
Everyone.
missed 23 free throws last season. He's missed 21 already.
Yeah. Do
You
you know how?
forgot.
Do you know what our percentage was in the game against the Pacers as a team?
What?
56.
Oh, on how many?
I think it was like 30.
It was
Oh,
18 to
Lord.
32, I'm pretty sure.
18 to
It
30.
is-
Oh
Thank
my
you.
That's not an
God.
NBA team. That's in
No.
a 5-point loss.
In a 5-point loss.
To miss that much, we have the 4th worst free throw rate. We had the 4th best free throw rate last year, 27th this year. Fox
Oh, you're
shoots
not even getting there
62%.
anymore either.
Not even getting there. Fox shoots 62% on clutch free throws. Sabonis shoots 67% on clutch free throws.
Oh my God! I mean, yeah, the Bucks game. That's the Damian Lillard. He would have just sent it into double overtime with that shot, but Fox, he missed his first free throw, so it was only a 2-point lead for Sacramento, and then obviously that shot went in. Yeah,
That's not even
that's
it. The Monk free throws. We were up by 4, and then Monk had a chance to go up 6. He misses both of them, and then Lopez hits a 3. All of a sudden, it's a 1-point game instead of a 6-point game, and then Fox hits 1 out of 2 2-point game. We missed 3 out of 4 in the clutch.
Oh, you guys make me feel a lot better about Aaron Gordon. Because he can't shoot him either, but he bricked a couple against Boston last night, and then he came down and he like packed the shit out of Jaylen Brown. And I was like, all right, you earned the right to miss more. I don't care. But
Yeah.
if the whole team did that, oh my God, I would be in a fucking padded room right now.
Yeah. I would give up maybe 2 of my toes for Harrison Barnes or for Aaron Gordon as opposed to Harrison Barnes. Like I'm so serious. I don't care.
Just
about
Oh,
two.
it.
Aaron Gordon fucking rocks.
Just
Don't get me
2?
wrong.
Just
Yeah.
2.
Maybe
How bad do I
3,
need
maybe
toes?
3.
I don't think I need
I've got
toes
10 of them.
that bad. Yeah, I got plenty.
The big toe?
No,
That's tough.
probably like
we get to
3
pick
of my
the
little
toe.
ones.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna say because Aaron Gordon makes you better. He doesn't.
Right.
He's not putting you up there and losing.
I'm
your
thinking
toes
like
for,
both pinkies
for
and then
that.
like the ring toe. Yeah. I don't need this.
Oh my God. The Aaron Gordon Sabonis spacing. You're just like, you're bleeding out from your foot, and there's like 4 defenders in the paint all at the same time, and you're just, God damn it. Wasn't
It's
this
better
worth
than the
Fox
Capella
Drive.
rumors. I mean,
Oh, Capella. Okay.
Capella?
All right. If we want to touch
I'm
on
pro
trade
Capella.
rumors,
Let the record show.
if we want to touch on trade rumors, let's segue. I'm pretty smooth at these. We're moving into whether each team in the Western Conference is going to be a buyer, a seller, or just staying put at the trade deadline. I'm just going to run through them top to bottom. Starting with the Timberwolves, I have them staying put. Pablo, where are you at?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I don't know if there's any like I'm open to the idea of some kind of move to maybe get some offensive firepower, but I don't really know where that would come or how that would come in. If I'm them, I feel fine about staying.
All right. Aaron, what do you think about Minnesota?
Is staying put for sure. I mean, they have the best record in the West, and no obvious ways to improve, and unless it's like super fringe and a 2nd-round pick for this, and I think that'll be the most they get.
Yeah. Jack, what about you?
they're holding. I mean, this team works as constructed, and they don't have like a ton of pieces that they'd be willing to give up to move to get more firepower or more shooting. So why move? I like this team.
Yeah. I'm on board with that. I said if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Half-court offensive issues are probably going to arise in the postseason, but you can address those in the offseason. I think they're probably. I mean, if they don't make like a deep run this year, I think we might be looking at maybe a cat move or something like that, given how kind of wonky and bad his contract gets. But for right now, they're staying put at the deadline. For OKC, I also have them staying put. Just so I don't have to call on people. Let's go. Me, Jack, Pablo, Aaron. That's the rotation. Does everyone got it?
Yep.
Good deal.
All right, cool. OKC, I have them staying put. Jack, what do you got?
I think they will stand put, but I don't think it's a good idea. I think they should buy something because teams buy into this idea that their window is going to be open forever, and it kind of never is because it's the NBA and weird shit happens. So I think it's kind of insane and low-key irresponsible if they've got 14 first-round picks to not trade a couple of them to get better now while your window is open, clearly. I think they'll stand pat. I think they should be buying.
Okay, Pablo.
I'm in the same boat, but I wouldn't do a big shakeup. I'm still not into going all in for Laurie, and I don't even know if that's really a possibility anymore because the Jazz might be the best team in the West, and you might have to give up Shea for him, so that's probably not going down. But the Achilles heel everyone talks about is rebounding. Everyone's worried. We have too many skinny, thin, tall boys. We need some meat. So some possible trades I was looking at. I was on the Fanspo trade simulator brought to you by Fanspo. That could be yours, Fanspo, every week. Email us. Davis Bertans plus, and I didn't go through specifically what picks would be involved, so I just said picks because I don't know what would be good. But Davis Bertans plus picks for Clint Capella. Clint Capella is one of the best rebounders in the NBA. He's huge, and he's still decent. He's still a good rim protector. He's still sometimes it probably depends on the day at this point. His viability on the perimeter. He's a lob threat. He's been deep into the Western Conference playoffs. Good guy, the Swiss roll. So I think that could be a good pickup for them. I think there could be a similar deal. Davis Bertans plus picks for Vucevic. I don't know if the Bulls would actually do this, but he's one of the better rebounders in the league and theoretically a stretch big. He's not as good as you think he is. And theoretically he's a post up big as well, but he doesn't really draw free throws and he just like settles for a lot of falling away hooks and stuff like that. But he's not really going to great use on this Bulls team. I just want them to blow it all up into the sun. And so if he helped the Thunder win a championship, that would be okay with me. And then the last trade I said was Jalen Williams. No, I don't want to say it like that. Everyone always has to insult him when people bring him up. Jalen Williams with a Y, the Arkansas big man. Joakim Noah vibes, I'll tell you that much. So I would love to have him on the Bulls. And so Jalen Williams plus Poku for Andre Drummond and Javon Carter, and maybe they could throw in some second rounders or something there. But there you get Andre Drummond, one of the better rebounders, and then Javon Carter, good point of attack bench guard. Again, that's kind of guy who's going to waste on the Bulls team. I think either Vucevic or Capella work because they're cheap, and not only are they at the top in rebounds, they're up there in box outs as well. So I think these are the kinds of moves you gotta be going for.
All right,
Pablo's
I can get on board with those.
gaslighting the NBA community to take Andre Drummond. I don't know how you're convincing NBA discourse. Like, no, take Andre Drummond. Give him a pick for Andre Drummond. But I think you're right on with that, with the rebounding. The Thunder's leading rebounders are Chet Holmgren, Josh Giddey, and SGA. Like, they desperately are going to need that kind of size, and they play this really versatile kind of switchable ball. But they lost to Sacramento. We kind of own the Thunder because twice, right? Because Sabonis just does whatever he wants against them. Like, while Chet wins in other areas and spacing the floor, you got to have someone to battle. Like, you have to get through Jokic. Like, what if they play Sacramento? Like, that'd be the worst way this season could possibly end, is to losing to this shitty Sacramento team, because it's totally possible. Just to get some like double-digit rebounders out there. I know Josh Giddey's upset when things hit double digits, but the Thunder need some double-digit rebounders for sure.
Oh my god! I wish I had a soundboard. Holy shit! No. The one that jumped out to me while we're talking about rebounders, maybe they make a move. This is just spitballing. I have no idea. I really don't even know if he's been extended yet or anything. Wendell Carter Jr. is withering away on the bench for Orlando. And I think he could be a double-double kind of guy. Oh, my God. So unprofessional. Oh, my. Pablo had like 3 alarms go off last episode. Yeah. I don't know. Wendell Carter Jr. fits that mold pretty well. If they had to, pay him next season, that would probably be a little bit less than ideal just because they're going to have to pay so many guys so soon. But yeah, regardless, those motherfuckers cannot rebound. And the idea of them playing Sacramento in a playoff series, that is very funny to me because Sabonis would cook. And if you could get, like, if you could tap into the old vibes just for a playoff series, maybe Steph didn't take all of them. Maybe he left, there's a little in the bottom of the bag, and you could throw him in Shea's face. And yeah, it would be fun. Moving on to the 3rd seed, the Denver Nuggets. I'm opening my mind's eye right now for the Denver Nuggets. And I see in the future, yeah, they're probably staying put. In terms of like shit they could add, a backup center would really rock. And to be honest, I'm gaslighting myself here. Is DeAndre Jordan better than Andre Drummond? If I could add Andre Drummond to this team, just as the backup, just 10 minutes.
I think Andre Drummond had a 2020 game this year, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I think DeAndre Jordan beat the Clippers with his cool hops and everything. So there's a lot of interesting arguments to be had. Yeah, it's just the backup center position. They're running Aaron Gordon a lot of backup center minutes these days, and it's fine. It's like patchworky, but if they get into a series with Minnesota where we're looking at like a Naz Reid coming off the bench for them, I don't think that's going to work super well. And so. Yeah, a backup big, but I would wager they stay put. So yeah, Jack, how you feeling?
I would also wager that the Nuggets stay put. They're so well put together as it stands. And at the end of the day, what sort of assets do the Nuggets have that they wouldn't want to hold on to for the rest? Like Christian Brown, maybe, but like I'm
Zeke
sure you guys like him a lot.
The Zeke Naji trade package. Tap in, people.
Oh,
yeah, you can have Harrison Barnes for Zeke Naji.
Okay,
but
perfect. 1-for-1 swap. Oh man.
No, I think the Nuggets are standing still. I can't imagine they make a trade.
I think they are sellers. I think I would probably trade Nikola Jokic for Joel Embiid because Joel Embiid is better than him now. And I think an interesting wrinkle to the deal would be if they also threw in Jamal Murray in the trade and the Sixers threw in Tyrese Maxey because Tyrese Maxey is younger than Jamal Murray and therefore better. So I think that would be an interesting trade. What do you think, Aaron?
I can't argue with it. It'd be league shaking, but Denver would certainly get the upgrade. Getting the best player in the package is just massive. But for Denver, it's interesting. Could they get Bruce Brown back? Is there a contract that just reroutes him? Like, would you pay a first just to have him again?
This season, probably not, because I'm confident if the team option doesn't get picked up, which it is a lot of money for the level of play he's displayed this season. If that team option doesn't pick up, I feel like Denver could get him back in free agency. I feel like he longs for the mountains. He dresses like a cowboy. So, like, yeah, I mean, he wants to be westward. He wants manifest destiny. And yeah, it would rock to have Bruce Brown back. And to be honest, what the fuck are we going to use that first on anyways? But we don't have a ton of assets. So in terms of, like, keeping our flexibility for, like, real necessary shit, I'm confident in the bench kind of putting it together at the right time. Christian Brown stepped up big last year. I like Peyton Watson a lot. I think he will be like able to contribute something in a playoff series. Reggie Jackson has surprised me with how good he's been. I am worried about DeAndre Jordan minutes, but it is what it is. And Bruce Brown wouldn't really fix that anyways. So yeah, I think they're probably staying put this year.
Bruce Brown paid Jonte Porter $10,000 for his jersey number. If he gets traded again this season, is that the worst investment in NBA history?
Oh, I wish I had some research time for this. There's got to be some really stupid investments.
Like Dennis Schroeder on himself.
Oh, what did he turn
Dinwiddie?
down? 84 billion or something?
84 billion. Close enough.
Yeah.
I think 85 billion, more or less.
Nerlens Noel also famously turned out a bunch of money as well.
Mm-hmm.
He did.
And shout out to who is it? Latrell Sprewell. I got to feed my family. Turned down 20 mil. never played in the NBA again. So yeah, in terms of horrible investments, it's up there. He might get just pivoted out of Toronto. He might have spent $10,000 on a number rental, but it is
Maybe
what
we
it is.
overpaid him if he's doing that. If he's making these moves, maybe we made a mistake.
The money went to his head.
Yeah. And plus, that's Canadian money. Is it worth? Oh wait, maybe it's worth less. Or wait, maybe you paid him in USD.
Oh,
You gotta answer the
Excuse
phone
me.
on the pod.
yeah, you got to put her on. You
Answer
got to
the-
put her
It's
on
my
speaker.
boss.
Answer the
Oh,
phone in front of
Are
the
you in
class.
trouble?
I will.
Oh,
Never
he
mind.
muted.
Screw her. I'm
Damn.
gonna be late anyway.
All
Screw
right.
her.
Screw her. Misogyny.
Yeah.
Oh my
Damn.
god.
Oh my
Not what
god.
we stand for
Oh,
at the
no.
State of the
I'm
League
canceled.
podcast.
If it was a male
women-
boss, would he have picked up? Something to think about.
maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, who's
Something
to say,
to think
you know?
about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lots to ponder. Speaking of pondering, the Los Angeles Clippers. I am selling strictly. My only bullet for this segment is get PJ Tucker the fuck off this team. And that's he's not even like in the rotation really. I don't think anything.
You're
I
just
don't
mad
think
at him?
anything good. Yeah, anything good is gonna come from him being on this roster. I guarantee it. So yeah. Beyond that, like I don't know. I don't think they have any areas where they could really substantially improve. The whole question just maintains about like the health of Kawhi and Paul George. Westbrook has been really solid in the backup point guard position. They have a fair amount of big man depth, especially once Plumlee comes back. Harden has been a revelation for their offense in the point guard role. Kawhi and Paul George, I mean, with the way PG just lit up the Thunder, they've kind of been really good at like taking steps forward and back and allowing the other to really excel when they've got the hot hand. So, yeah, I think the Clippers probably stay put, but if you want to sell PJ Tucker, it probably helps your luck in the playoffs, I bet. Johnny Employee, how you feeling?
I'm thinking the Clippers also stay put. I swear I'm gonna have infinitely more fun discussions about future teams here, but the Clippers don't really have much to move around. They've got so many big contracts on their team already. Outside of doing some sort of like Bones Highland and PJ Tucker thing, I can't imagine they move too much. Also, this is working. Weirdly, I didn't expect this Clippers team to work, and it's seriously working. Why mess with a good thing?
Yeah, they look great. Probably not any huge moves to make. Maybe there's probably some California boys you can bring in on the outskirts. Maybe get LiAngelo Ball in there, another California high school powerhouse player. But if they wanted to, yeah, I mean maybe no, yeah, they're okay. Aaron, back to you.
I'm not sure who would want PJ Tucker and Bones Highland. Like those are the kind of the expendable things, but at this point, the Clippers team could use like they could use production from everyone on their roster with how big the top end contracts are. But could you do a PJ Tucker for Barnes swap? Would I do that? Would I trade the real question? And the question we'll answer later is would I trade Harrison Barnes for nothing? And the answer is basically yes. For the Clippers though, they have been playing really well. I refuse to care. I'm not doing this. I'm not buying in. You can't make me. The internet cannot bully me to take this Clippers team seriously. They've assembled like the all-star team for bad playoff moments and untimely playoff injuries. And they're like, we're playing super well. And I'm like, this is going to be the funniest first-round loss in your fucking life. Guarantee it. I guarantee. And this is like,
Whoa.
it's we've gone full circle where it's like so surprising that it's like we should have seen this coming. Like, of course, this team is going to fall apart. And look at this roster, guys. I'm begging you. I'm begging you to look at this roster and that this is built for, like, an entire playoff run.
Hey, I've
It's
seen
not.
Kawhi win a championship, man. I've seen
That's
Paul
true.
George, if he's healthy, if everyone's healthy. Is this I feel like this is California Wars, is it? Is there an element of that coming in here? And you're like, I hope they suffer more than I do.
If you had to put your life savings on the Clippers making the Western Conference Finals or James Harden being on a new team next season, which one would you do?
Oh, you know what? I would
You
That's
think
hard.
about it.
I would do
Why are
the
you
Western
thinking about
Conference.
it?
I would do the Western Conference Finals. Because I do think they're really good right now, and I don't know what options are left for him. So that's
You're
why
a
I would
broke
do
man.
it.
Who else would take him? He wanted to be here. But that's what they said about Brooklyn and Philadelphia. So, maybe he's just he's a fickle guy. I do think it's funny. Fingers crossed for the Clippers Mavs first round matchup 4-5 situation.
Oh, man.
My
Don't
God,
do
that
this
would
to
blow
Luka
me away.
again.
Nah, Luka's winning this time.
Mhm.
Because it's I went on the record. I said Derek White's better than Kyrie, and Kyrie's been on a fucking nuke run lately. That's my luck for you. So now, I mean, yeah, Kyrie's gonna go out there 37 points per game in a 6-game series, maybe. And just I don't know. I'm on board with Aaron. It's the combination of all right. So we need 6 straight weeks of health from Kawhi and Paul George and James Harden, and Russell Westbrook can't fall off a cliff because we still need the bench to be pretty solid. And James Harden can also fall off a cliff even if he's healthy because he's kind of the backbone of our offense as far as facilitation goes. And if Kawhi goes down, this is all completely out the window. And if Paul George goes down, then we're just putting even more weight on the fucking twigs that are Kawhi's knees right now. So yeah, I don't. If I had to put my life savings on one, I would probably do the Western Conference Finals, just because I don't know if Harden would have another suitor. But at the same time, I don't have to do that. You don't know my bank account information. You can't make me. So I'm not putting money on anything except for I have the Kings right below the Clippers. Is that it, or is it the Mavs right now in the standings? Does anyone know?
man.
My standings didn't print.
It's the
It was a
Pelicans,
whole
then
thing.
the Mavs, and then the Kings.
Yeah.
We're the 7
shit.
seed right now. We're in hell.
I updated my my Eastern one. I did not update the standings in my Western one.
No, we're in 5th,
So-
Aaron. We're in 5th again.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's the West
What
for you,
happened?
baby. I mean,
I
I
don't
see
know.
7. I see 7.
I see 5.
No, you don't.
ooh, I like
Okay.
this.
No, you
Alternative
don't.
facts, you know?
You don't.
Gaslighting you.
I don't. I genuinely
No,
don't.
I don't. Yes,
No,
I
we're
do.
we're the 7 seed.
For the 7
NBA
seed.
standings.
All right.
Yeah,
Let's I'll try to keep the standings straight then. We can go to the Pelicans.
We're the 7 seed. We just are the 7 seed.
Yeah. And
We might be
to
the
be
5th
honest-
in the Pacific Division. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm looking at it right here.
What is the website difference? Because I know some sites have differences in offensive rating. I've never heard of a standings difference.
I'm on ESPN.
The
we have
worldwide
5th highest
leader.
winning percentage. Yeah, the worldwide leader in sports. Come on.
We're 23
If
and
anyone
18.
knows the truth.
The
on
Pelicans are
Google.
25 and 18. The
Yeah,
Mavs
I'm
are
on
24 and
Google.
18.
Kings are 23 and 18, 7th seed. So
Is
Pelicans
this
come out
really
on
off?
top.
Did
Dude,
they
Jack,
not
it's worse than you
refreshed,
think.
last
maybe.
night or
Jack, it's so
something?
much worse. We're out of
ESPN
the-
is just totally off. This is ridiculous.
Man, that Pat McAfee money, it went away from the standings app. Huh?
Yeah, look at that. You're a
Me?
couple games behind. The Mavs.
Yeah,
the,
what
the
the
Pelicans have
hell?
played 3 more
That's so
games.
funny.
That's ridiculous.
Wait, it's 3 games behind the app?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my
they're not the
God.
worldwide leader in sports. This is ridiculous.
No,
I'm on
That's
ESPN.
weird.
I'm on the computer version though.
yeah, I'm
Weird.
on. I got phone ESPN, and I got
Phone
the Kings as the
ESPN.
7 seed still.
I'm gonna take
So-
this though. It's a
Sorry.
conspiracy. The league is out
Oh,
to get
shit.
us. We
Pablo,
actually are the
Pablo.
5 seed.
Pablo died. This is so sad.
Pablo died. Oh,
Hello?
he's back.
Pablo died.
Oh, we
Hello?
switched to order now. Do you guys see that?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Pablo didn't go
The
anywhere.
league's trying to keep us
Nobody.
down.
There was nothing wrong.
My screen froze
talk-
and then everything shuffled.
Damn. Well, we time traveled. Pelicans.
Yeah,
Pelicans.
apparently 3 games ago for Jack.
Yeah, the Pelicans all the way down there in the 7th seed. The Kings, they're on top of the world. No way they lose to the Pacers tonight. What the hell?
It was such a
Yeah.
big lead against the Suns. The way we blow this.
Oh man. What's funny is rewatching the Suns game. Because I rewatched it the morning after. I didn't get to see it live, and I just threw it on 3 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. I was like, I'm not gonna watch them build this shit up just for it to fall down. That feels not masochistic because I don't care. Sadistic. That's the word I'm thinking of. Like, yeah, I don't want to watch the Kings suffer that much. But the Pelicans, I have them staying put. I have the Pelicans staying put.
I thought you were gonna say you like to watch them suffer. I was like, Jesus.
No, I fucking friend of the program, Trey Murphy, baby. I love the Pelicans. I don't love Valanciunas for them. Especially last night. Booker was going at that motherfucker and his slow feet in that first quarter.
One of the top box outers in the NBA, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, the Thunder could use him. It doesn't feel like there's like a serviceable replacement for everything he brings right now. Now I guess that I've brought up Wendell Carter Jr. He does do a lot of stuff Valanciunas does, but I have him staying put. They'll probably just like they've had a lot of health issues this season, and just like figuring out rotational shit, and so yeah, I'm staying put. We switched up the rotation. Pablo just cut Jack, so Pablo,
yeah, this is fine. Like what is that game called? King of or Foursquare. Yeah, I knocked him out. Yeah, Wendell Carter is interesting because he is like near the top of the league in like in a lot of the rebounding stats, like rebounds, box outs. I think he was up there in like contested rebound percentage when I was looking last night. But he's actually a little bit smaller than you would think. He's like 6'9", I think, 6'10" on a good day. Shit. And so it's I wonder how, but he is thick. They called him oatmeal or something when he was with the Bulls.
What a stupid name. Oh my god.
I wonder how good, because it's been a long time. So I wonder how much he's grown, and because so we traded him because he had like one bad half of a season where he was just getting like out rebounded by Vucevic and by another like Drummond and a bunch of other traditional bigs, and all the mindless meathead Bulls fans were like, he's not big enough, guys. We can't do it with this guy. He's not big enough.
It's a very Midwestern opinion. Yeah, like he's not. Yeah, this guy couldn't play offensive line. How can he be good at basketball? What the fuck?
We can get Luka Garza out of Iowa in the second round next year. He's really good. I wonder if he's good enough to answer these rebounding woes. I also wonder what they think about him, because I know that Goga has been like a revelation. He's finally living up to the hype, and he's been really good defensively. But Wendell is very interesting as a big man who can shoot threes, who can pass, and who can do some good stuff on defense. So I wonder, he would be a really interesting trade target for anybody if they are interested in moving him. But as for the Pelicans, this is a team that's so deep. I'm not sure if there's any moves to be made. They already had to let go of Kyra Lewis, could come back to haunt them. He's got the De'Aaron Fox speed, folks. But yeah, I think for them it's just about health, and I think Jordan Hawkins had a crazy game the other night. So maybe just figuring out how to maximize everybody on the roster, get everybody up to speed, and things might be okay.
Yeah, Jack, how you feeling?
Instead of trading someone, I would just play more Jordan Hawkins. I don't understand why they haven't been playing him as much as they have, I guess, recently, because he played really well last game. He sort of gives me I don't want to get into this level of comparison, but he sort of gives you Michael Porter Jr. vibes with the amount of confidence that he takes his three-pointers with. He just steps into it and launches it. And the Pelicans are a really deep and strong and good defensive team, but sometimes you look at their lineup and you're like, oh, it's Alvarado, Daniels, Najee Marshall, Ingram, and Zion. Who the hell is shooting?
Yeah.
So like getting Hawkins on the floor more often. Yeah, exactly.
My
so
boy.
Hawkins more. Yeah.
You a big Hawkins guy?
Hawkins
Have
more.
You been?
Oh man, I love Hawkins. I love Najee Marshall. I love Zion. I love all these guys.
It's crazy how likable the Pelicans are, and then
it is.
I mean, like just to not like. I don't want to say they're not that good. They could be good. They're so good defensively, and they have so much potential on offense. But yeah, right now it's interesting how Jose Alvarado has kind of worked himself out of the rotation. But it's not my turn. Aaron, what do you think?
For the Pelicans, they seem like a team just desperate desperate to finally condense to take all because they have these picks, like they have these like Drew Holiday picks from Milwaukee or something. Like they have an excess of assets and like 15 mouths to feed for the rotation, or like no matter who they put out, it's like, oh, it's actually pretty good. But also, what makes them so dangerous at times is like they're like a World War Z zombie horde of length and depth on the wing. Just you can't. It's unstoppable. It's like this sea of basketball players. That's why the Kings lose by 90 every.
Yeah,
the
he's
worst
watching in
wings in the
horror.
league.
He's like, I have none of these guys. They have all of them.
They have all.
Jesus
Okay, the
Christ.
Pelicans spare us like one of these like 6'8" guys that are pretty good. We have 0 of them.
Yeah.
And so I'd like to see them like finally condense. I'm not sure what that looks like now, but it is such a strange team where I like they have so much talent. It kind of hinged on Zion being like, can he make that leap to, or not the leap? He fucking was it. And then he got fat and injured. But this like 27 points on 60% shooting, crazy like NBA talent. Or now it's just like he's pretty good. Like he's pretty good, right? And the Pelicans are pretty good. But it just, man, if Zion could be more, it'd be a crazier team.
Yeah. I mean, we've hit on that plenty here. The Zion, the frustrations that accompany wanting him to do well. It's funny. I bet Masai is up there in Toronto, just like kicking himself, looking down there at all these fucking like 6'8", 6'9", put the ball on the floor a little bit, handle. None of their wings are like really solid facilitators. They're all pretty good, like they can make an extra pass, but they're not really looking to pass all that often. But yeah, it feels like largely they have kind of adopted that we'll just roll out 3, 6, 9 guys, and then our center and our point guard that Toronto has in the past. Yeah,
Is
I think they'll
Delano
probably
Banton still in Boston? Could the Kings go out and get him?
Ooh, what do you
Why?
think about Banton?
He's a wing. He can dribble.
He's something.
so
He's definitely an NBA player.
I'm interested.
That's
I don't
so
know who
fucking
that
funny.
is really, but I'm interested.
Oh my
Nebraska
God, he's a
legend,
wing.
right?
I don't know.
Yeah, no,
we have
he was good.
Pepperdine legend Kessler Edwards already. We're fine.
We just sent to the G League.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
incriminating.
You guys are mismanaging talent. That's the real problem in Sacramento. You don't know what you got. You're sending everybody down, and you're not playing the right people. And fucking Harrison Barnes and Mike Brown in love,
Keon Ellis.
in bed.
Play Keon Ellis.
No Lady
Play
Bird
Keon
2
Ellis.
yet.
No
That's
Lady
true.
Bird too.
Working on Lady Bird too.
All right. After the Pelicans, let me check my updated app here.
I don't
Oh,
know, we should have Jack in his standings. No, I think this is a real conspiracy. The league wants the big market teams are trying to tell you the Kings are not the 5th seed. We are the 5th seed. Put
I
us
get it.
back in the
That's
5th
what-
seed.
media.
Lamestream
true.
media. It's so funny with the Minnesota, Oklahoma City, Denver top 3 to be like big markets. They got their fucking boot on our necks. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the 6th seed is the Dallas Mavericks. Where the hell are they even at? I didn't write them down. Oh no, they're right here. Okay, perfect. I have them staying put. It sucks how nobody has really been a seller yet. But if the move was gonna happen, it would have been Siakam for Dallas. That's what it feels like to me. And it doesn't feel like anybody like what are the other big names available in terms of like adding substantial talent? DeJounte Murray, does he do anything for them? No. Zach LaVine, does he do anything for them? Yes. One of the best shooting guards in the league. Give up a bunch of draft picks for him. Yeah, I think they stay put and probably address the postseason issues after the postseason, like a normal team would. I don't think they're taking a big kick because you're also theoretically built to get better in the postseason a little bit with Luka and Kyrie. I don't know how true that's going to hold. I don't know what the defense is going to look like, but I don't think, I don't think they're doing anything. Pablo, what do you think?
Yeah, I think they're probably in a similar territory to OKC, where there's like a littler move that they could make, probably for all those same big men that I named. I don't know what their pick situation is, so what they could offer for them, but I think it would really help because the numbers, like the Derek Lively numbers, are pretty jarring. Let me see if I can pull these up. because they're 20-10 with Derek Lively and 4-7 when he does not play. So that's pretty crazy. And this is a rookie center. So I wonder if they could be troubled to get a more competent big man rotation. Because who are they rolling out there? They have Dwight Powell, but he's not the same Dwight Powell. Maxi Kleber, he's not the same. Who is
Olivier Maxence Prosper is the
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Omax. Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah.
him though.
He's more of a wing though. He's not like a traditional big. So
Yeah.
they
I like
need
the idea of playing him at the 5.
that could be. He's very long.
I don't know about with Luca
yeah.
though. That's the problem. It's like
Okay,
Luca
well,
kind of
yeah.
locks you into this, like having maybe like a lob threat big man situation out there. It's not exactly
that's
like
not what
the
he is.
foundation for a switchable team is the Luca Doncic offense.
So outside of those little moves, maybe they could trade Luca for LeBron, because LeBron and Kyrie can win championships, and we've seen it in 2016. So if they wanted to do that, they could do that. But outside of that, I think they're probably going to look pretty similar, because they lost out on Siakam for now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Jack, you're up.
agree. I agree. There's not too much that I think that they can do, because who on this team are you going to trade? Like, I don't know. What is Grant Williams doing? Like, has anyone heard anything about Grant Williams all year?
Grant Williams,
sign that deal. Didn't do anything. But Dwight Powell is just not someone you want to have. If Derek Lively has shown he's got some injury issues, if he's down for the playoffs, they're not winning anything with Dwight Powell. So sort of a move for a Capella, who I can't imagine that's a super high value trade target. Or even a guy, like if you want to go super cheap, JaVale McGee does not get minutes on the Kings anymore. And he was fine in Dallas just, 2 years ago? So maybe that's someone they look at. Someone on the really lower end. Or Bismack Biyombo, because he's not with the Grizzlies.
Oh!
Someone like that.
Okay. It's a really interesting look, because with Luka being your centerpiece, the flexibility of how you can build a team is kind of limited. Because at the same time, NBA fanboys will scream that Luka has no help, but the on-off numbers don't really support that, and they've won games without him at a fine clip. That's not historically bad for. It's like they're like 3-4 or something. They're gonna have to take another project, basically. Like can they get Wiggins? Like, what's like the Wiggins package look like? Is like a rehab home for Andrew Wiggins, because they don't really have they don't have the picks or any young players I like at all. But I could write a book on
Josh Green, baby.
Josh Green. What's the life of a basketball player like with Luka as your best player? Like, because it kind of sucks. It's like I kind of sit in the corner, and my best moments are when he sits. I don't know. I'm just not. I do feel like Luka's like heliocentric offense kind of limits your trade options, because it is like, we need a center. What does he do? Nothing but rebound. Or what does a wing do? He does nothing but shoot. If he even thinks about doing some shit on his own, he'll find his ass on the bench in a second, because you have to, like, you just sit there and you get these driving kicks, which Luka's obviously fantastic, but it's just an interesting team building conversation.
Yeah.
Could they be the PJ Tucker spot? He's used to it.
He's perfect.
Grant Williams.
Grant
Williams is already standing in the corner. That's the problem. He'd have to be. They just have two guys in the corner the whole time, and then that removes Derek Williams or Derek Jones Jr. from standing in the corner. So there's only so many corners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say.
It's
funny. It's like they signed Grant Williams, and it was like this big thing about like, oh, culture changer. Defensive-minded guy, he's gritty, brings a little different aspect to his Mavs team that they haven't had yet. And then we get into like the praxis of playing basketball, and it's like, oh shit, Derek Jones Jr. straight up better than him this season. And pretty much like beyond the intangibles, it's just like, okay, shooting, Jones is better, athleticism, like defense, all that stuff. Being a lob threat for Luka, kind of coming in out of those corner or wing looks. Yeah, he has
short roll passing. Don't sleep on Grant. I'm with you, Grant.
Big Grant Williams defender down here. Yeah, so I think they'll probably stay put. It does present like a lot of weird roster building questions that will probably just be answered by him like leaving and going to his Miami and being like, oh shit, you get him next to another like top 7 player. Everything kind of figures itself out. But in terms of just like fleshing out a real roster around him, it's a little bit difficult. So yeah, shit, I got to keep my fucking phone open for this because my standings are all messed up. The Kings, the 7th seed. Woo! We got all the way down here. Oh my god, I thought we were gonna run out of climbing rope. Oh my gosh. The Kings, I have them as buyers. Just like a Harrison Barnes fire sale. We'll take whatever you want. He sucks. We already talked about this. I don't think we need to twist the knife into Harrison Barnes, who's obviously watching this. But yeah, you can't be in Sacramento anymore, buddy. So, Pablo, what do you think?
It's a big man's league. Big teams win. So what I would do is I would trade Domantas Sabonis for Tyrese Halliburton, and then the Pacers would have a rotation of Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam, and Sabonis. So I think that
they would
really
never
good
do
for them.
that.
And we
That's
could see
kind of unrealistic.
we
for
could
the
see how a
Pacers.
Fox Halliburton tandem works out. Maybe.
Could you
I'm
imagine?
interested. I'm interested.
Can you imagine Fox and Halliburton on the same team?
Unreal.
Could you imagine? That'd be so
Unreal.
crazy. Oh, I don't know. The vibes would be really cool. Jack,
Jack?
what
For
do
the
you
Kings.
think? For the Kings.
I had to make a Kings trade. You asked us to make some trades. I had to make at least one Kings one. So this is what I've got. I did just see a report pop up on my phone that the asking price for Dorian Finney-Smith was 2 first-round picks.
What?
You're lying to me.
Get
Everyone
the
is
fuck
lying to
outta
themselves here. Everyone is lying to themselves. Either way, with that being said, the Kings send Harrison Barnes, Davion Mitchell, and either a protected first or 2 second-round picks to the Nets in exchange for Dorian Finney-Smith and Harry Giles.
Oh, the return.
The return.
The
He's our
return,
boy.
the
Kings
prodigal
fans
son.
love Harry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this works out. I think the Nets take this because at the end of the day, they would probably prefer having picks than Dorian Finney-Smith right now. And I'm not giving up 2 firsts for it. And hey, you get Davion. Maybe you like him a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's just a dump of Harrison Barnes for you're attaching a pick to him. He's just negative value at this point. You get Dorian Finney-Smith, who's a great player. He's everything that Harrison Barnes should be. He's a good shooter. He can rebound a bit. He can play good defense. He's fine. 43% career shooter from 3.
I think you overestimate how smart Brooklyn is. Brooklyn, they're in such a weird spot because they don't have their picks, so they're hesitant to like commit to the bit and just be bad. So instead, they're trying to be
because they're not losing for themselves, right?
Right.
Yeah. But instead, I mean, they're just like prior to the Lakers game last night, I think they'd won 3 games in 36 days or something like that. So they're already losing. It just, I don't know, like they're trying their hardest not to. And that package presupposes that they would just be on board with tanking. And I think that's the smart move to me. Just get Mikhail the fuck out of there. Get the haul that you can. There's plenty of market for guys like that. But yeah, I have a Kings trade later on. I'm not gonna give it all away, but there's a certain there's a handsome man in our nation's capital that's a pretty talented forward, and maybe we can use him. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in.
Aaron, what are you thinking about the Kings right now? Buyers, sellers, staying put.
We have to be buyers, but I'm not going to convince myself that Harrison Barnes is worth jack shit. Who wants this? Like, the Kings are the perfect Harrison Barnes team for what he used to be. But now it's like this is a negative asset. You have to treat it like a negative asset. And so I asked the question earlier, would you trade Harrison Barnes for nothing? And I think I would. And here's the trade I put together. Pablo, I think you'll be interested. So it's Harrison Barnes. It's Davion Mitchell for Torrey Craig and Lonzo Ball.
Oh no! I'd rather gamble on Lonzo's knee than
I
that.
would rather gamble too. That's why I'm taking him. It's one the contract is a little more expensive for Ball, but it's shorter. It's 2 years versus 3 years. I'd be happy if Ball never plays again than to bank on Barnes again. I mean, the vibes are so bad in Sac. I meant to mention this earlier. I saw a tweet like yesterday saying like this team had heart. It was a picture of the 2014 Kings. They were like,
who
this
was
team
there?
this would never happen to this team. It was like
DeMarcus?
it was Derek. No, this roster we went 28 and 54. Isaiah Thomas, Rudy Gay, DeMarcus Cousins, Ben McLemore, Grievous Vasquez, John Salmons, Derek Williams, Jason Thompson, Patrick Patterson, Luke Mabah Mute. And they're like, Reggie Evans would never let TJ McConnell score 20 and 10. I'm like, oh my lord, like we're reminiscing. Like, what are we doing? What's happening?
Cousins famously, he was 100% locked in all the time.
I just can't get there with. I don't want to sacrifice our picks for a buy-in this year if it's a little awkward. Like, I mean, Brooklyn is like this weird role player super team. They have all the best role players in the league, but not a good enough superstar. But I'm not giving up 2 firsts for Finney Smith, and I'm also not going to pretend that Harrison Barnes and Davion Mitchell are worth anything. Davion Mitchell is like 26 years old.
Yeah,
he's not a young asset.
Fuck, that's crazy.
Like, he's like Ben Simmons is younger than him, or what was it? Yorgos Papagiannis is younger than Davion Mitchell.
Oh, his wife.
That's fucking true. So he's not a young asset. He is literally just the $5 million. I'd rather play Keon Ellis.
Davion Mitchell is garbage. Anyone who tries to tell you that at least he's good at defense is not watching Kings games. Because do you know how much the Kings get outscored by possession every time Davion's in the game? 15 points.
Whoa. Well, me and Pablo, he has a cool nickname, and so
off
he
night.
does have a cool nickname.
Off night. He's cool because when he guards you have an off night. I don't know if you knew that.
Could
so
maybe
oh
my god, it's the self-fulfilling prophecy now. Could there be a Harrison Barnes Warriors reunion out there? Could there be something? Maybe you could pull off a steal and get Moses Moody or Kuminga because Steve Kerr hates them or something.
Holy shit!
I would love that.
If they got Kuminga centered around Harrison Barnes, I would that would blow me away. The Warriors front office would need to be investigated for something, be it drugs, instability, tampering, collusion. Something's going on if they pull that off. But good for Sacramento if they can.
Pablo, Pablo, do you have your game? Your Kings game? What was it?
Oh shit!
Oh yeah.
The Kings game.
Yeah, I want to play.
All right. We have an official game. So this game is brought to you by Hottunes TV China NBA, the first and only basketball YouTube channel on YouTube. So I only have 5 options for this, but we're gonna pit you against Jack the Kingsfan. And so whoever
Wait, am I involved in this game at all?
No, you're a spectator.
Sweet. I have to go to the restroom. So fucking take over, co-host. I'll be right back.
All right. So, so the game is you have to guess: is this person a basketball king, or was this person a basketball king, or was this person an actual king?
That's good.
So,
this is great. Okay.
Who would like to go first?
I'll go first. Fuck it.
Yeah, you take it.
Okay, Aaron. Was Charles Whitney a basketball king or an actual king?
Wow, that's good.
This is so good.
That's a basketball king.
You are correct. He was a Kansas City king. Do you know anything about this guy?
I don't. I really don't.
So let me read you this little Wikipedia intro. This guy's fascinating. So he was a star at North Carolina State and was drafted in the first round in the 1980 draft by the Kansas City Kings. But he had a knee injury, and so he was only able to play 70 games. What a bummer. By 1989, he was homeless and addicted to cocaine. On January 26, 1996, Whitney and a juvenile kidnapped Mark Fabiani, the personal attorney of then First Lady Hillary Clinton. He was arrested, tried, and convicted of a felony and sentenced to 69 months in prison. Then he got out of prison in the year 2000 and found work at the Niles Home for Children. Whitney asserted that he participated in the crime after being accused of stealing narcotics. So that's unreal. But either way, so Aaron got it right. He was a Kansas City king. All right, Jack, let's see if you can even the score.
All right.
John Lackland. Was this a basketball king or was this an actual king?
John Lackland.
It's a great game. Really good.
Lackland, yes.
Lackland. Oh, I
Wait,
think
what
this
is
is
it,
like
Lackland
some
or
Scandinavian monarch. I'm thinking John Lackland.
All right, you're correct. Well, not about Scandinavia. This was the King
Okay.
of England from
King of England.
1199 to 1216. The golden years. 2016 was a great year. Maybe 1216 was as well. All right, Aaron. Let's see. Edward Longshanks. Is this a basketball king or is this a
Wow.
real king? It sounds like a
That's
One
the
Piece
fakest
character.
fucking name I've ever heard. Oh my god, Edward Longshanks.
I really don't think Edward Longshanks played in the NBA. I'm gonna go real king.
You're correct. This man was
Thank you.
in the end, or no, he was the King of England from 1272 to 1307. Englanders, let us know if that was a good run. All right, Jack. Tariq Abdul Wahad.
Ooh.
Was this a basketball player or was this a
Oh,
Middle
man.
Eastern king?
There's been a lot of hyphenated. Like, I feel like that name almost sounds familiar. So I'm going to go with that's a king. That's a Sacramento king.
You're correct. He was a Sacramento king from 97 to 99. All right.
Yeah,
So
there we go.
now this is for all the marbles. This is the last one. So we're gonna have to do a buzzer situation. Whoever wants to answer first has to go buzz, and then so then you have one chance, and if you get it wrong, the other guy wins. Okay. Ike Diogu, African king or Sacramento king?
Buzz. I'm gonna say that's a real king, a Sacramento king.
You are correct. You're the winner.
Wow.
0809 and 1112. Ike Diogu. Woo! Aaron
Wow.
Schroeder's
On
the
fire.
first ever, the inaugural winner of the Kings vs. Kings competition.
Wow, you're the king, Aaron. There you go.
Woo!
Clap it up. Clap
Thanks,
it up.
guys.
Fair play.
Fair play. Woo! He fucking did it. Oh my god. All right. After the Kings, we're looking at a beautiful 8 seed. Who is it? I don't know, because I was Googling all the names while Pablo said them, just to get the answers ahead of time.
God, he's
and
impatient.
I was feeding them to Aaron through a little buzzer, a la the
Oh.
chess
Scandal!
conspiracy.
Scandalous.
Yeah. Sorry, Jack. Hate to do that to my namesake, but
man.
the 8 seed, the Phoenix Suns. Oh my God, the monumental force of offensive nature that came back from 22 down in the fourth quarter against some poor schmucks. I have them as buyers, probably on the buyout market. Just feels like they're not quite there in terms of depth for a playoff series. I've been convinced over this past week that we have like the offensive firepower that was kind of theoretical up to this point in terms of like just being able to overwhelm another team. If you can get Booker into the 52-point headspace and Kevin Durant into his headspace, and then Beal just plays fine, and then Grayson Allen and Eric Gordon hit shots, those 5 I feel pretty comfortable would give a team like a difficult playoff series, but you want a little bit more depth, and Yusuf Nurkic is also not good. Straight up, I would probably
he's up there in all the rebounding stats.
Well, I don't give a fuck. I'd rather have Biyombo right now, probably, because I just like his hustle more, like the cut of his jib.
That's slander. That's slander.
Yeah, I have him buying somebody. So, Pablo, what do you think about Phoenix?
I mean, if there's someone out there to buy, I'd be open to it, but I just don't know what they have. What do they have to give anybody? I mean, Bull, are there any Bull truthers out there? I mean, if they could get somebody, I'd welcome it, because it seems like them and the Clippers are parallel to each other, and they're like, all right, you have Kawhi, we have KD. All right, you have Paul George, we have Devin Booker. You have James Harden, we have Bradley Beal, I guess. And then it's like they're like, but we have Grayson Allen too. So they're gonna go into war with the big 4, and so I would like to see them get another soldier.
Yeah, free Nazir Little, by the way. But other than that, I don't know what they do from the like. Is anyone picking up the phone for Keita Bates-Diop?
Oh,
no.
I don't
hey,
think so. So
7'2", 3, 4 wingspan. It's huge.
yeah, unless they're picking up like John Wall in the buyout market, I don't think this team is moving.
Whoa, making moves. And then
I know.
Bradley Beal slots at small
Yeah.
forward, and then we just have a whole new set
Think
of
about that.
problems. I fuck with
Oh
that.
man, what's
You're getting the
Gortat
Wall
up
Beal
to?
duo back.
This is the team they were
Gortat.
trying to build in the offseason, the 2016
Yeah.
offseason. It was like KD's going to come to the Wizards. Here it is.
Oh
Beal,
yeah.
Wall, and KD. He was supposed to go there. The Suns are so strange because they have talent. They have like some of the best top end talent in the league. I hate how this team is constructed. And you can just say they lack depth. They're super top heavy. That hurts you in the trade market as well because all you have is your star players and guys that are like way too cheap to get anything. You need someone making $10 million a year. You need someone making $12 million a year. Because now, like, if they wanted to improve, they'd have to move Grayson Allen. And Grayson Allen is like a rock of the like foundation for this team. They have
50,
to have
40,
him.
90. I saw someone say he's the only guy in the league. I don't know
wow.
if that's true, but that's what they
But
said.
he's been good. He's been good. They just don't have any
he's been
room
great.
to move. And they have like $150 million locked up in KD, Booker, and Beal. They're gonna have this issue next season. I think they fucked up with the Beal trade and locking up this Beal. This Beal contract is insanity. And I think, like, let's say they make the Western Conference Finals. Remember what KD looked like in 2021 against the Bucks? Like towards the end, like overtime of that game, when he was just so gassed he couldn't get the ball to the basket. Like they're gonna be killing him like that. It's at 4 straight rounds of 40 minutes a night for KD is gonna be hard when your bench looks like this. So buyers, my final answer is buyers, but they have nothing to purchase with. They're broke.
Yeah, moving Grayson Allen feels like I don't know. When you describe him as a foundational rock, yes, it's true. I'm curious. I was trying to go through it while you were talking. I'm not fast enough. I'm not tech savvy. Plus, this microphone takes up like a third of my keyboard, so I'm like working around it. I would wager he's at least like 18 points per game in a lot of their wins so far this season. Recently, he's dropped nearly 30 or 30 plus in a couple games that they've won, and it just feels like he is really a key to them playing their ceiling of basketball with this current roster construction. And you're right. I mean, they don't have anybody else. I've already shit on Nurkic once. I'll do it again for kicks. And nobody's like biting on that at all. If they dangled him and he's not good and Diop's not good.
Could OKC? Could there be a Nurkic to OKC deal? He's a great rebounder. They get some picks to maneuver around.
That would be so funny if they're just like savvy for like 8 straight years. Just like have not missed a beat since Westbrook wanted to go to Houston. And then they're like, oh, fuck, our window's really opening up. Who do we want to grab to fill this rebounding spot? Yusuf Nurkic. Hell yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I just don't see OKC doing that. I like to give them a little bit more credit. I think the Suns, yeah, they don't have shit to sell. They'll probably be trying to buy. I don't know how successful, not sexual, it's gonna be. Sorry, that's a little slip of the tongue. Maybe
I thought you were going for a Colin Sexton trade. I was like, no, can do, buddy.
Can't do. I mean, you want to talk about the Jazz are the best team in the league. That's pretty driving force behind that. But we have to talk about the Lakers first, or do we? Actually, let me check my phone again.
Isn't it the Jazz?
It's the Jazz. It is the Jazz.
It's the Jazz.
Missed
Hell
the
yeah.
you missed the segue.
Standings, though.
I'm sorry. I'm not used to. My shit's not updated. I'm on the Jack Dan standing setting. So yeah, Jazz, they're the 9 seed. I have them as sellers, even if they want to hold on to Sexton and Lowry, which seems like they do. It seems like they're like right now pretty committed to those two. But even if you look around the rest of the roster, what the fuck is Kelly Olynyk doing here? You know, like
he's playing very well for them. Surprisingly,
he's great. Like he's just a guy that I don't. Like it doesn't make sense that he's on a 10 seed. You could get value while keeping the guys that you like and while not really losing a ton in the standings, like, oh fuck, if you fall out of the play-in tournament this season, is that really the end of the world? If you sell super high on Kelly Olynyk and get like a great return on him, I don't think so. I think they should be sellers on guys like that around the roster. Pablo, what do you think?
I think they should probably well, the best player on the team is in the G League. If they did bring him up, then I do think that they are playoff contenders, and it would just be the Donovan Mitchell situation again, because they have all this talent around him. They just need a superstar, and so if you put the ball in the superstar's hands, I think things will go well. But either way, I think they are really confident in this group. They don't want to, like, I think they've given up on trading Laurie. I think like Olynyk is surprisingly a huge part of that offense, like passing wise and stuff. There's been
5 assists per game. He's been cooking, dude.
Yeah, there's been so much Will Hardy hype this past week. People are like, "Oh my God, is he one of the best coaches in the entire NBA?" I think they're like, "Hey, we want Will Hardy to cook, so we're gonna keep this roster together." Maybe Jordan Clarkson is coming back around. Maybe they could try and move him somewhere. And maybe a change of. Who did we bring up earlier that we said? Minnesota. No, I wouldn't be interested in Jordan Clarkson if I were them. Either way, I think this roster probably stays pretty similar.
Oh shit. Just a quick little detour.
Unless they could sell John Collins.
It's Delano Banton. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Mr. Banton.
Happy birthday, Delano.
Can't believe we dropped the fucking ball on that. You're a wing. You can dribble, and we support you over here. Back to the Jazz, Jack. What do you think?
The Jazz are a funny team because outside of the Thunder, they sneaky have like an unbelievable amount of picks. If you really like, they have, if I'm looking at this correctly, they've got 3 in 25, 2 in 26, 4 in 27, and then 2 in each of the preceding years. That's an insane trade cabinet. They can make any. When the Damian Lillard thing was going on, I thought I was being like really edgy and cool by saying like, hey, watch Damian Lillard go to the Jazz. Because it's Danny Ainge. He's always got this weird energy to him. You never know what he's going to do. However, with all that being said, I don't think they do anything. Because, like, you've got all these picks, and that's awesome. But what are you going to move it for? DeJounte Murray?
It's not the year. There's no one out there.
Maybe I would have done it for, like a Pascal or something. Or, like, maybe if there was a better disgruntled superstar on the market. But that name isn't there. And you might as well save these picks for an actually good guy. Maybe Joel Embiid gets bounced in the second round again, and there's some stupid trade that goes down. I don't know. They've got so many picks.
They have Timberwolves picks. It's priceless. That's worth its weight in gold. That could be anything. That could be anything in 2028 with the Gobert contract and the Timberwolves historically. And like, I don't think their GM's very good, but I think the Jazz will trade Kelly Olynyk. They'll probably trade Clarkson. They'll keep Sexton, Markkanen, and be happy about that. They just those Sexton and Markkanen are just too good. They're way too good to catch up to, the other tanking teams in the league that are like loosely playing basketball. So they can continue to win. No, they have a ton of picks. They don't have to be the third pick, the second pick in the draft. They already have Sexton. They already have Markkanen. I think they're in a good spot, but they should still be sellers.
Yeah, I'm on board with all of that. It's so funny how like we don't even talk about Walker Kessler with the Jazz. We're just like Sexton and Markkanen. That's our fucking guys. Even though like I don't know, their go-to young guy last season it was Kessler, and I like the way he pairs with Lowry pretty well. And yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting spot to be in where you have this amount of talent as kind of like a nest egg to start your rebuild with, and so you don't have to like your success isn't hinging on the fact that this upcoming draft class isn't that good. You're not really that worried about shit like that. You're just more so worried about like analyzing the talent and what is going to become available should people become unhappy or should people become free agents. I guess if Utah got a big name free agent, I mean, I'm hesitant. Like I would maybe eat a Utah Jazz ticket, as somebody in this phone call would wager to do. I don't know. That'd be silly. That'd be crazy. All right. Jazz
Back, it's just
sellers.
paper. It's just paper.
It's just paper.
Not that
I
bad,
don't
right?
know.
It's just paper.
I got a lot of enemies out there, so I think the ink could be fucking toxic. Who knows? Jazz sellers, Lakers. I got them buying. Just a classic. I mean, you don't even need to think about it. Obviously, the Lakers are going to take all of the bullshit that they have, turn it into a player that's out of their, like, they're out kicking their coverage with this trade package. And then probably fucking turn it all around again and make the Western Conference Finals again. That's just the way shit happens to work out for our Golden Boys down there in LA. So yeah, I got them buying. It's just, I'm curious how you guys feel about the idea. LeBron's probably playing with Bronny next season if Bronny like declares for the draft. So do you guys think the Lakers are going to move that 2029 first round pick with that kind of looming over the franchise? Pablo, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a weird situation because I think they definitely want to do something. But like D'Angelo Russell, he's been the name that everyone's thrown into these packages. But he's been popping off recently since his return from injury. He's averaging 26 assists, 44% from three, and they're 4-2. And so everyone's like, "Oh my God, can we get something better than that?" I don't know. But either way, this is a team that is not a real contender this year, and I don't know if there's really a move out there that makes you a real contender. So I mean, like, if there's the DeJounte rumors, everyone is in DeJounte rumors now. DeJounte does not put you over the top. Zach LaVine does not put you over the top, even though you probably should trade for him, trade all your assets for him. I don't think there's a move that gets them into that top tier in the West. So I don't know what you do here. You probably have to try and do something. But I was on the trade machine last night with them trying to figure out interesting trades, but I couldn't really get anything. Some funky salaries in there.
Yeah, the Lakers are weird because they want like DeJounte and they want better guard play, but then you're not willing to give up anything more than like Max Christie and Jalen Hood-Schifino. Like, what do you think you're getting for that? Genuinely, they don't have the, like, even if they want to get DeJounte, you're going to have to give up Rui. You're going to have to give up someone bigger. And then all of a sudden, this roster just isn't as good anymore because you're looking at their bench and like, okay, Colin Castleton, welcome to playing the backup four. That's just not good. That's not a contender anymore. They've got to buy, but I don't think they can buy enough with this team. I think I'm out on the Lakers this year.
The same thing with the Suns. Super top-heavy contracts, and then everyone else is too crucial to this roster because they lack depth. That if you're going to make that trade, it's like Hachimura and Reeves for DeJounte, and I'm like, I don't know if I want that. I don't know if I would do that if I'm the Lakers. I just don't think that changes anything. The Lakers are going to call out of teams and be like, do you want our garbage? Like, here's a bunch of garbage. We signed all the worst players in the league over the offseason. Would you like one of them? And no one does. Like, no one wants it. I paraded the offseason declaring the shit shuffle of the Lakers shuffling around all their shitty role players every year. I'm like, no, like, we're going to figure out Christian Wood. No, you're not. No, you're not. Like, no one's figuring this out. And so you're at the point where this feels like the 2018 Cavs. This feels like the 2015 or the 2014 Heat. Not as bad. The Heat obviously were still very good, but where you've kind of sucked the well dry, and that's the price you pay with having LeBron on your team. Is every year you buy it, and eventually you have nothing left to purchase with. They're out of assets. They're out of moves I like. They'll be in the conference finals for sure, but I will be mad about it.
Remember, though, this season is a success. They are already in-season tournament champions.
Very true.
Yeah,
very true.
It's kind of weird that like the season continued after that. Just because it's obviously the most important thing to go down, and so it's like, I don't know, the structure is strange to me. It's the first year they've done it. I'm sure they'll probably address that next season, maybe do the championship itself in like December, and then the in-season tournament a little bit later on, just to give it a little more climax feel. But yeah, shout out to the Lakers, already champions. I'm on board with that. They fooled me this offseason because I think a lot of it hinged and I thought Reeves was gonna take a bigger step forward into like maybe like a 17, 6-5 kind of guy on the same caliber of efficiency. And now, like I'm looking at his season and being like, oh, thank God he's back up to 15 points per game on like pretty good splits. So yeah, they just don't have as much to work with as I thought they were going to this offseason. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to pull off much. But again, like we said, they will be in the conference finals, and it's going to fucking suck. No, not the Jazz. Does anyone have the standings open? I don't know why I keep closing my phone.
It's the Rockets. It's the Rockets.
Are you sure? Are you sure, Jack? It's the
Yes, I'm sure.
it's
I'm
the
no
Rockets.
other people.
Double
It's
check.
the-
It'd be so funny if Jack's like, "Oh, this is just a screenshot I had from 2 days ago. My fault, guys."
It's from 2014.
No, it says
Oh,
right here,
yeah.
Yao and Tracy have the Rockets at this seed.
Yeah.
All right. I'm the Rockets at the 11 seed. Probably staying put. Me personally, I'm out on Jalen Green, but I'm not in the Rockets front office, so I think they are probably going to hold on to him. I don't think they're shipping him out this trade deadline or anything. Yeah. They made the moves to get the veterans in the locker room and just treat this as kind of a development year for all of their young talent. Wouldn't make a ton of sense for them to make a big move at the deadline. Yeah, that's my thoughts on Houston.
Yeah, they did come out and say, I think they officially said this, or I just saw this reported, that they are not going to trade any of the young guys, including Jalen Green. So they're just sitting pat on that. They do have rumored interest in Capella. Might get a Clint Capella
God damn
reunion for them.
Really?
Not
Why?
sure how much that changes things for them. And apparently they are also interested, rumored to be interested in Bruce Brown. Could they be a Bruce Brown landing spot? Not sure about that one either. But I mean, I think this year, yeah, I think this year we know what they are. They probably want to do a little bit more than they're ready for, but yeah, if for them, I'm not doing anything crazy unless a good offer comes up.
Yeah, I can't imagine the Rockets doing much at all. This team also just doesn't excite. I don't think I've watched a lot of Rockets this year just because this team doesn't excite me a lot. Jalen
Şengün
Green
is the most exciting player in the league.
Şengün
so
is
you
great.
messed up there.
Şengün is great. I love Şengün. But other than that, when Şengün is off the court, you're sitting there watching Jock Landale and someone else, and you're like, okay, this is certainly Rockets basketball. Either way, I don't think they're going to do much outside of maybe moving one of their veteran guys, maybe like a Jayshawn Tate. They feel like they want to get some value out of. But other than that, I think they stand still. This is just going to be a play-in to 500 team for the rest of the year.
I'd call the season a success already, though, just because they had gone 3 straight years with being like the worst team in basketball, which is a really hard thing to do. And coming back from that, the offseason seems to make sense. The Van Fleet signing has worked out. Dillon Brooks looks pretty good. So it's not like the worst offseason like we kind of thought at the time. But I had a DeJounte trade drawn up for them. And whether they're not interested in moving Jalen Green, I don't care. They should be. Jalen Green and Oladipo and let's say Brooklyn's first this year and some other pick another year, just to kind of upgrade the Jalen Green spot to what Jalen Green was supposed to be, and then you can just take it from there.
Yeah, I agree. Teams probably it's like if you asked any of the worst teams, if you asked the Wizards, the Pistons, the Hornets, the Spurs, if you're like, hey, next year you could like jump into what the Rockets are currently at, is that a success to you? Everybody there is like absolutely. And so yeah, I think the season has been pretty solid so far. And I agree. They should be out on Jalen Green. He's not good. He's not good. I'm sick of pretending just because he's cute and he's fast and explosive and he paints his nails. He's based. He's chill. Nah, dude. I don't care. That's weird, bro. Why are you being weird? Get out of here. Get out of my locker room.
Stupid, sexy Jalen Green.
Yeah, God damn it.
Send him to Utah.
He's just too hot for this league. I can't handle this.
Send him to the Wizards.
Chicago for Zach LaVine. I'll take him.
You'll take
I feel like Pablo's in a bad place mentally with the Bulls.
Hey,
Every
he could
single
be.
like tangent ends with like, please take Zach LaVine.
He could be something. He could be Zach LaVine.
could
Yeah,
be.
that would be very on brand for the Bulls. Pull off like a big heist to get off of Zach LaVine, and just for like 4 years from now, we're like, holy shit, we got Zach LaVine back. He's just named Jalen Green this time. Perfect. Cool.
That'd be epic. If we could just reset Zach LaVine's age, I'd be all about keeping him.
Yeah. All right. That's the Rockets. We got 4 left. They all kind of suck. I know the Warriors are like a little. Yeah, I'm just gonna run through all of mine at once. I'm gonna say, Warriors staying put, Grizzlies staying put, Blazers staying put, Spurs buying a point guard. And that's it. I don't have a ton of thoughts. I mean, if they want to play Trey Jones in San Antonio more, that's fine. I think they could probably make a move if they wanted to. But yeah, that's how I feel.
The Spurs could be interested in DeJounte Murray. I don't know if you've heard. But yeah, I'm out of all those guys. Let's see. Could there be a Draymond to Sacramento trade? Is anyone interested?
No.
That locker room would rock.
I'd be interested if I was Sacramento.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. No.
Is it just
like
I don't
Green or
think-
Barnes? What's Green's contract?
20 something or no? I don't know what he's making this
I would
year.
do it. I would do it. Get Harrison
40
Barnes off my team.
Elite what for Harrison Barnes for Sabonis? Elite defensive player, 40% 3-point shooter, change of scenery. Oh my God, what a blast! That propels you into contention.
Oh my
I'm in.
God. Come on, Aaron.
My man.
Really?
Do you just have like do you have like personal beef with Draymond Green? Like you just wouldn't want him on your team for that reason?
Yeah, I do. Just
we
for
would
that.
love him. We would love him.
No,
It's
we
like
wouldn't.
it'd be like
Come on.
3 games. Be like, yeah, Draymond, punch
No,
that guy.
I
Like, let's go.
Dude,
What if
The people's elbow? Like, let's get him.
what if in the first game he like hurts Steph? Would you be on board then?
See? You know
yeah,
you
look
would.
at you down
Now
there.
that you say it like that.
You were always a
Okay.
pussy.
if
Hell
he
yeah.
stomps on Steph in the first round, cracks all of his ribs and then we get to win, like this is great. I'm in. So
All right, maybe.
Cool. Let's hope the whistle follows him down to Sacramento. If
that's
he
the
gets down
issue. It
there,
would not.
and like the texts
Yeah.
are just like by the book for the rest of the season. The second he like raises his voice, it's just like boom. He's coming for Rasheed Wallace's record within like a week and a half. Yeah. I don't know. I like Draymond, but I understand not liking him. I get it. If I was a Kings fan, I probably wouldn't like him either. Yeah. Do you guys have any notable thoughts on Warriors, Grizzlies, Blazers, or Spurs?
I had a
was trying-
couple really
Go ahead,
big
Jack.
and stupid trades drawn up for both the Warriors and the Spurs. The Warriors
All
one,
right.
they're both incredibly stupid because I know the Warriors won't say yes to it, but they probably should. So the Warriors send Clay, Dario Saric, sorry, Lisco, and Guy Santos, as well as 2 first-round picks to the Portland Trailblazers for both Jeremy Grant and Malcolm Brogdon.
Wait, who was the last player that they sent?
Guy Santos, just salary filler.
Guy Santos.
Yeah, he's from Brazil. He's a fast power forward. He's kind of switchable. He's interesting.
Oh my God, I feel like a
Sorry.
casual. Where's it? Does
Yeah,
Guy
he's-
Santos play?
No, barely. He played for Team Brazil in the World Cup, which is why I'm familiar. But he's not.
Okay.
He's not like. He's interesting. Either way, the point of the trade is the Warriors are giving up 2 firsts, and they're getting back guard play from Brogdon, and they're getting a better wing than Wiggins, and all of a sudden that Warriors team, it's a last chance. You just give up all your picks. You're going all in on the Steph Curry prime. Grant, Brogdon, Green, Curry is a really fun lineup. And I think the Blazers are cool with that because at the end of the day, Clay is a $43 million expiring. So you go into next year with a really high draft pick, your young core, and $43 million of cap space. That's pretty enticing.
Damn. And you get off the Grant contract, which
And you get
it
off the
feels like
Grant
they only gave him that to keep Dame or try to. So
That was a
kind of
disaster, man.
dude.
Yeah.
It's such a good look into Pablo's mind to hear like Klay Thompson, Jeremy Grant, Malcolm Brogdon, and he's like, who Who's this
Who is
Brazilian
DeSantis?
that you guys are talking about? I'm not.
Right.
I didn't see him in the draft papers. That's my bad.
It's
Sorry,
crazy. I
guys.
literally have never heard that
Pablo's
name.
like
I'm
shuffling
shocked.
papers around, like who?
Yeah.
You can hear the
DeSantis,
ruffling
man.
of papers.
Yeah, get with it.
Yeah,
It's such
I
an interesting
agree.
deal, man. I feel like I'd be
Aaron, you
depressed
go,
as a
you go.
Warriors fans. I'd be so sad as a Warriors fan if that's like how the Clay era ends for Jeremy Grant's contract.
Would
Yeah,
you?
that would be all.
Think about how good that team looks.
Ugh. Sorry, Jack.
That's fine.
I just feel like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Warriors, to me, are doing the same shit that all the other smart teams are doing, which is like riding it out and seeing what they can do in the offseason. That's the most creative use of Clay's contract that I've seen so far. I will commend you on that. Because to me,
I'm trying to be creative.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I'm locked into them moving him for like fucking Zach LaVine or something, which is not good enough. Like, dude, shut up down there. I just, yeah, like I don't think it's good enough return for them to do the emotional damage of moving Clay. Whereas Jeremy Grant and Brogdon's fucking pretty solid if you can get him coming off the bench and you can get him healthy. He's a quality basketball player, and Jeremy Grant's good too. Yeah, I don't know. I like that for Golden State, but I don't think they would do it. Aaron, do you have any big thoughts on any of those four teams?
I was just trying to work out a Chris Paul to San Antonio deal, just out of pure curiosity of like, can we get Wemby the ball? Like, could Chris Paul just get him the ball? Are you willing to basically match salary and then eat $30 million for 2 years just to have like the best point guard, or like one of the best passing point guards the last 20 years on your team to get Wembanyama the ball in his spots? Because the Spurs are just so bad at getting it. They're just bad at getting like the gigantic guy. You can throw the ball like almost anywhere, and Wembanyama will come down with it, and yet they really struggle with that concept. I think Chris Paul would. I mean, he might make an All-NBA team. He might have the crazy turn. I know he's injured right now. I'm not sure how bad that is. But if you could just have him, we have Chris Paul, teach Wembanyama. I don't know if you want Chris Paul as your teacher for an all-time great, but still, like get him, get Wembanyama the ball. Chris Paul
he says he likes when people are mean to him, so maybe that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Chris Paul loves to bitch at people.
He does. There's another point guard who might be available for the Spurs to get, and he plays in Atlanta. And it's not DeJounte. It's not DeJounte Murray.
Trey, we're doing the Trey trade.
Oh my god!
Because I've mocked up a Trey trade. I mocked up a Trey one, and no one's gonna like it. No one's gonna.
I will like it. I will like it.
Ready?
Let me hear it.
So the Hawks give up just Trae Young, and the Spurs give up. It's a lot. The Spurs
Not
give
Devin
up,
Vassell.
No. Jeremy Sochan.
Okay.
Jeremy Sochan is a young guy. This year's first for the Spurs, so that's gonna be a very good pick. But I've heard
bad draft. Bad draft.
It's a bad draft. Exactly. You get it. And then Atlanta's 27 goes back to Atlanta. And then to fill up the rest of the contracts, you're giving up McDermott, Devontae Graham, and Sandro Mamukelashvili. Which I nailed that pronunciation.
Damn.
Good job.
Great pronunciation.
It's so funny.
Have you seen him play? He's kind of like...
Yeah, he's good. I like him. I like Sandro.
Dude, I don't think Atlanta does it. I don't think they're
ready. It's not worth it for Trey.
It's
it would be sick though. It would be so sick. Trey.
I'm in the business of fun talking points. Is what I'm in the business.
Yeah,
of.
no, I mean that's a great one. I've thought about it, and I just don't think Atlanta is desperate enough to move on completely from the Trey era. It's hard to build a team around him.
I don't think they're loving it though.
I mean, but it's Trey Young. Like I feel like if he was getting moved at the deadline this year, there'd be a little bit more smoke around it. Whether it be like leaks from his camp or Atlanta's camp or whatever. It wouldn't just be like, oh, everybody wants a piece of DeJounte Murray, and then like out of fucking left field, Trey's gone at the deadline. But I mean, clip this now that I said it out loud.
Together to the Spurs.
Whoa, okay. It's worked out so well in Atlanta. They just want to transplant it over there. All right. Well, we can just go straight up into fake fucking trades now at this point. I'll
Well,
go off the
did you hear the Grizzlies tried to get Mikal Bridges? They offered 4 first-rounders. The Nets said no. That's a real thing.
Ooh, I don't know.
What is wrong
I
with the
would have
Nets?
taken it if I'm the Nets. The Nets, I mean, Mikhail rocks. You're gonna get a haul, but that's like borderline OG Anunoby stuff where you're just overvaluing what you got going on and turning down really good. Like, yeah, 4 picks from the Grizzlies. You could have their pick in this bad draft this year, man. Come on, don't be stupid.
They got rejected last year for OG. Also, the Grizzlies. They're like, please give them to us, and the Raptors are like, it's not time. It's not time.
It's not time. I need RJ Barrett. We just gotta let Tibbs sweat a little bit down there. My big fake trade, my first one. You guys are gonna love this. Kyle Kuzma to Sacramento. Wow. Harrison Barnes, Davion Mitchell, 2 first-round picks. I don't know what the protections would be. Like, I don't know if they'd be crazy protected. I'm not really that tapped into what goes into those decisions, to be honest. But I think he fixes the Harrison Barnes problem. He's been good this year. I think he can be a good defender in the right setting. I don't know if Sacramento is really the right setting to bring out the best in someone defensively, but he's definitely better on offense. 23 points per game on really solid splits this year. Yeah, Kuzma to Sac. I like it. And Harrison Barnes, I mean, Washington, give us you're tired, you're downtrodden. They don't give a fuck. This is the first year of the rebuild. It doesn't matter. So how you guys feel about Kuzma to Sacramento?
I'm in. Give me Kuzma. If any coach can tell Kuzma that he's not hot shit, that he's just not as good as he thinks he is, and to settle into a role and score as needed as the 3rd, 4th option, I think Mike Brown can do it. I think Kyle Kuzma works.
I don't even know if he'd have to be the 3rd, 4th option. It feels like he'd just be the second. Like, Sabonis is like the second option technically, right? But in terms of
I guess that's
scoring,
fair,
like getting buckets, it'd be Kuzma. I really am scared of buying in, giving up multiple firsts for Kyle Kuzma. I can't think of a less uninspiring big 3 than Fox, Sabonis, and Kuzma to be like, this is it. This is our group. Because at that point, like, you can't pivot away from that, really. You'd have to just, that's your, like, are we going to win a title with this group? Because you've gone it. Once you've gone all in on your 3 guys, like, you're locked up long-term financially, this is it. And I don't think that gets us. I mean, does that promise a first-round victory? I don't even know. So I like the trade, and I wish we could make that upgrade. I don't think I'm willing to lock myself into Kyle
Kuzma's contract is pretty good.
Yeah,
it is.
It gets smaller over time.
I think it's like 22, 21, 2018. So by the end of the contract, he's making the same amount as Harrison Barnes. So it's like, well, shit.
All right,
right there we go.
I'm in. All right, I'm in. I thought about it.
You were literally just asking if you could trade Harrison Barnes for nothing, and now you could get
right. Like, this is
no picks, no first-round picks. Like, you don't know what with Sacramento, we've been bad for so long. I'm so scared of not having first. I know we're not going to be a perennial playoff performer. Like, this is going to end at some point, right? Like things will return to as they were. We're going to win 28 games. I'm going to need that pick, man.
I mean, do you think it's going to be in 2027? Like, yeah. Well, that was my other question: is can you hit on picks?
No.
Right?
Of course.
Historically, we're not good at that either.
We've
got Keegan, we've got Fox, and that's about it.
What are we good at historically? Yeah. We're not good at.
We're
not good at much historically.
De'Aaron Fox for the Jazz picks.
Stop! Come on.
Tear it down. No, it's gone too far. Trade. I would take, honestly though, Minnesota picks. If it was like 6 first, I'd be like, fine. I'll be bad. I'll look bad again. Let's try this again.
All right. Let's go around, I guess. Pablo, you got a fake trade for us?
Yes, I do. I just found it. Okay, so we talked the Warriors. I got a Warriors trade. So Chris Paul, Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga, and Moses Moody for Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. So
Pablo, goddamn.
You sicko.
Steph Curry famously said it would be insanity just to run this core back and change nothing. Well, you got to try something. So why not say, all right, Chris Paul can't even score anymore. He's old. God, we don't know what he would do for us in the playoffs. Andrew Wiggins, he's done. Kuminga, we hate him. Moody, we hate him. DeRozan, elite mid-range shot creator. Is he the same draft class as Steph? He might be. They bond over that. Zach LaVine, 3-point shooter, run out. Imagine this in the playoffs: a Steph, Clay, DeRozan, LaVine, Draymond lineup. How do you stop that? How do you stop that?
With a 7-footer, maybe. I don't know. It could be possible. Yeah. I love your heart. I'll say that
That
much.
is spicy.
Just like you keep
spicy.
getting back up when Chicago beats you down. And yeah.
Right. I feel you.
Beyond that,
All right.
I don't love the return for Golden State. I'm not that high on either LaVine or DeRozan as like postseason performers or really doing anything to like maximize Steph's game, which is kind of the key to Golden State being good at this point. And
Well, I see how a casual would think that way. I understand.
Yeah, no, that's my fault. That's on me. We haven't gotten into DeRozan's passing out of the high post.
Right.
I mean, he can just.
yeah.
Fucking,
I'm
he'll
all in
dime
on that.
Steph up.
Please,
Yeah,
Warriors,
okay.
take that, please.
Oh man! And then they still just like it's like a gritty 7-game series. If they go at it with the Kings, it doesn't matter. DeRozan, it's like
Yeah,
his first
right.
good postseason performance of his career. He really steps up with Golden State. Yeah. Oh man.
And then
All right.
imagine Chris Paul in that heated play-in game for the Bulls. Probably pulls out a win. That'd be crazy.
Ooh,
Okay.
true.
Yeah. Jack, do you have
All right.
I don't know if we're gonna do all 3 fake trades. We're pushing 2 hours. You got one good fake trade for us?
I hear you. I've already tossed out a couple of my big ones, but I've got another one. And we've been talking about DeJounte Murray for a while. And a team that doesn't come up a lot when people talk about him is the Orlando Magic. And I think the Hawks send DeJounte, and the Magic, I don't know how realistic this return is, but you go Fultz, you go a couple protected picks and some seconds, and you leave it at that. The contracts are the same.
Wow.
It's a Fultz and picks for Murray, essentially. Think about that Magic team for a second.
Another guy who can't really shoot.
Okay, well, come on. I think we're being disrespectful.
He's
to
better than
DeJounte.
Fultz. He's better than Fultz, but
Yeah.
I think the problem
shooting 38 from 3. Come on.
how many attempts?
probably pretty good volume. I feel like he's been a straight up good
Pretty
shooter
volume.
this year.
6 attempts a game.
Yeah.
6
Okay,
tips a
okay.
game. That's not bad. And he just hit the one on
No.
the Heat. His aura's through the roof. I mean,
And people
yeah.
aren't convinced about his defensive ability anymore, but you put him next to Jalen Suggs.
Could
That's a
be
nasty
inspiring.
backcourt,
Could be inspiring.
frontcourt.
If
Could
I'm
be.
the Magic, I would do that. I just think they probably would get better offers elsewhere. But if I'm the Magic, I would do that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I like
it's
that. That's good.
I just think they could I get wanting DeJounte Murray's defense to come back, but if that's not a guarantee, it does feel like they could probably put that package together or something similar, and then just get like a straight up better offensive player and still have like most
Zach
of the
LaVine.
piece. Like
Zach
well,
LaVine, come on.
For all my criticisms of Zach LaVine, he is pretty good at offense. So I think the tools or the pieces of a good defense would still be intact if they moved for someone like Zach LaVine. And your ceiling, I mean, I think like it could get pretty gnarly offensively if DeJounte Murray kind of regresses if he's next to Paolo instead of Trae Young. That's kind of like a bit of a shakeup in terms of the coverage that you see. So.
They're
Yeah,
Seattle
I
boys. I forgot.
Collectively
Pablo and
underrating DeJounte Murray. I don't get it. He's actually just still solid.
I don't know.
Oh.
I'm a non-believer.
21 points a game. He's got like the best true shooting of his entire career this season. Like, I
What
don't
is
know.
it?
56.
That's below league
His-
average. Still.
His true shooting's 56%.
I said it was the best in
this
his career. He used to be an all-star.
year. Yeah,
I feel like
it's
the
hard.
best thing. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's hard to move. Like, it's cool if you shoot if you're that inefficient and your defense is really good. It's not if it's not. So yeah, I think the pendulum has swung a little bit too far. DeJounte Murray has redeeming qualities, but he's not that good right now.
He's not Chris Dunn. I'll tell you that much.
Shut up.
No,
Oh
he's
my
not.
God.
Yeah, no, he's not.
Aaron, what do you got? What do you got?
I do kind of feel like the best place for DeJounte is like kind of a crappy team. Like in San Antonio, he's making these all-star teams because it's just like overachieving, good vibes. He gets to take the shots he wants. He's like way over aggressive on defense, getting 3 steals a game. It's like, this is awesome. And then when you try to allocate that on a real team, like a team with actual aspirations, it just hits a little bit different. But I liked that. I kind of liked it for the Magic. Just they have so many guards. Why not get a really good one, a pretty good one, and get some picks while you're at it? I think everyone gets what they want.
Yeah, I'm on board. You know what? Fuck it. The Magic say yes. I'll indulge you, Jack. Yeah, I like it. Aaron, what's your fake trade? Let's close this out.
I kind of spent all of them on the way over. Man, Pablo's
Damn it,
he
Pablo.
doesn't want to hear mine.
He doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to hear the fake trade. He doesn't want to hear it. That's funny.
All the juicy ones I spent, like Chris Paul to the Spurs or the Lonzo Ball trade. All I had left was the Pistons give up Joe Harrison a first for Bruce Brown. And it's just a study of what you would do for a win. What would you pay for one win? For just one of them? Like to be the not worst team of all time? Because this team is really going to struggle to get to 9 wins. The 73 Sixers won 9 games, and that's going to be brutal to get to. I think they should. Just like a top 10, 2029 protected first and just forever. Just to be not the worst team of all time.
Do you think Bruce Brown... Well, because first, I don't think he hasn't been shooting the 3 particularly well this season, and that's kind of like their real struggle that's kept them from like getting into games. Luckily, I think like I don't know. Is Bruce Brown? Does that really move the needle for them in terms of one win? I think if you're going to move Joe Harrison to first. Would you just do a little bit more and like maybe Zach LaVine does help your ceiling in terms of getting 2 or 3 wins more all season? Maybe that could help. I'm not sure.
Could we do like 2 seconds, 3 seconds instead of the first? Just like a litany of seconds and just say, take our second round picks. We'll take Bruce Brown and I'm going to try to win 10 games. Because he can't shoot. He is pretty good defensively, and the Pistons are like the worst defensive team in the league. So that would help on that case.
Number 1 option, Bruce Brown. We're so here.
I like it.
Him and Cade pick and rolls.
And I would also feel bad because I like Bruce Brown. Seeing him go to Detroit would make me sad. Seeing him go to Toronto, I'm already like, ooh. Cold up there. They're in a rebuild that's not what maximizes your skill set. I know you want to come back to Denver, Bruce. It's okay. My arms are wide open. You can. And Jokic will fix your shooting right away. I know that too. He'll be 45% before you know it. Blink of an eye. Yeah, that's my thoughts on Bruce Brown to Detroit. Pablo, do you have any to close us out?
Oh wait, can you see me right now?
Yeah, I can personally.
Here. Oh crap! I thought I was not here. On my phone it says you're backstage. Only the host can see you.
I thought I let you in. You're in.
Oh, okay. Wait, what was the question? Sorry.
It's Bruce Brown and a first, or wait, it's Joe Harrison a first to Toronto for Bruce Brown. A study of what you would do for a win. What would you do that?
Wait, Joe Harrison for Bruce Brown? Wait, where Joe Harrison's in Brooklyn still?
No, he's in Detroit.
Okay. No, I don't think that helps them because Bruce Brown's shot is not there. So I don't think Bruce Brown is like they can't keep slamming the wall and be like, we need another guy who cannot shoot. So I would not do that.
Oh man. It would give Monty Williams an excuse to take the ball out of Jaden Ivey's hands a little bit, and I'm sure he would love
God.
that. Like,
It is a
he'd be like,
reunion.
"Fuck."
Remember, Bruce
Mhm.
Brown drafted by Detroit.
Mm-hmm. Very
Yeah.
true.
Oh, all
Very
right,
true.
back to his roots. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, that is 2 fucking hours, ladies and gentlemen. A bunch of yap, a bunch of talk. I'm very happy to have my Kings guys in here. Let's start with Aaron. Where can the people find you, man?
Find me PossibleChairs on TikTok and on X. Pretty new Twitter account. But yeah, longest podcast episode I've ever been a part of. Happy to be here, guys.
All right, and that doesn't surprise me at all. We literally cannot shut the fuck up sometimes. Jack, where can the people find you?
You can find me at JackTheKingsFan on TikTok, as well as JackDanKF on Twitter. It's not X. It's never going to be X.
Whoa.
Oh,
Okay.
Sorry,
Damn.
didn't mean to come after. Didn't mean to get aggressive. I don't want to start my
Elon?
second TikTok beat of the week. But
Elon, we don't hold those views over here. If you want to pay us
No.
money, if you want to pay us some of those Mr. Beast bucks, maybe we'll upload this to Twitter as well. I don't know. Pablo, where can the people find you?
Hot Tunes TV China NBA on YouTube. Just past 1,000 subscribers. Woo! Just got to get to 4,000 watch hours. Then I can start making money. I'm going to start posting 5 days a week on YouTube. It's going to be a lot of yap sessions. So get ready.
Hell yeah.
Then on TikTok, it's Pablo Escobar. Jack, I'll tell you what. I don't know. How do you live too risky of a life for me. We know you're in the Sacramento area. We have your first and last name, and you're starting beefs. How do you do it? I'd be terrified someone's going to kill me.
I'll tell you where
Come
Jack
try.
lives. It's not the Sacramento area.
yeah, Aaron knows. Aaron knows that that's not true.
That's not true. It's not the Sacramento
Oh,
area.
man.
Yeah, see,
Might
that's
as-
how good I'm being at hiding my tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Are you
All right.
Googleable?
I like
Are there a lot of Jack Dans out there or no?
There's a fantasy sci-fi writer who's a Scottish 70-year-old named Jack Dan. So I'm actually pretty well covered on that base.
Mm.
Sweet.
I have
There you
I think
go.
a songwriter for Elvis named Aaron Schroeder, so it's kind of hard to get past that one. You're not
Yeah.
gonna find much on me. You're gonna keep running to his wiki page.
And yeah, there's not that many Jacks out there, not that many Jack, aka Jokic Joestars. So when you Google me, it'll probably just be me. But I'm evil. So if you want to meet in real life, it'll go poorly for you. I can guarantee you that. Yeah, you can find me Jokic Joestar, literally every platform: Instagram, Twitter, X, YouTube, TikTok, all of it. Letterboxed even. I'm watching movies and shit, people. All right. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Jack, for coming on. And I'll catch you guys in the next fucking episode. Peace.